5 props in 60 seconds. That is the name of the game. In this video, I have 5 NFL plays for Sunday. Then I have 60 seconds to try to explain each of them and hopefully convince you guys to bet on them. I really like the picks in this video. I wouldn't be shocked if we go 5-0. I'm being honest. I'm that confident in the card we have for you today. If you are new, my name's Austin from Calling Our Shot. Appreciate you guys for taking some time out of your day to watch the videos always and support the channel. It means a lot to me. As always, we have a bunch of other videos for NFL Sunday. My biggest other one, as I was posted earlier on Saturday, includes my anytime touchdown parlay, which we've been printing on those. Includes my first 2-unit play of the season, another prop, and a same game parlay. I encourage you to check it out. It's linked down below at the top of the description, as well as another NFL video where instead of props, we talk all about spreads, money lines, and totals. I encourage you to go check that out. But you guys gave me for some NFL picks. We're going to dive in. At the end of the video, you're going to see a sleeper entry where I put together all 5 of the plays in this video, and we're going to give away $250 if we go 5-0 and cash that thing. Of course, sleeper, we love them. One of my known partners here. If you sign up using my code COS or the link in the description, they will match your first deposit up to $1,500. Insanity offer, dollar for dollar up to $1,500. Craziness, but sign up using my code COS, and they'll also give you a Joe Burrow free square for him to get 1 yard on Sunday Night Football. They also do a ton of discounts on Sundays. So again, pretty cool offer. Take advantage of that down below. But you guys came here for some picks, and I got 5 of them before that sleeper entry. Let's dive in the first one. A reminder, 60 seconds. I'll start that timer right after I explain the pick, as well as where I would play it to. The first one we will begin with, Drake May of the New England Patriots over 27.5 rushing yards, minus 110 on Bet365, a 1-unit play. I'd play Drake May personally up to about 32.5. I really like this spot for him. Start my timer. In Drake May's last 5 games where he's been starting at QB, 38, 18, 46, 95, and 24 rush yards. So over in 3 of 4 or 5. One of those games he did get injured in. I think the 46 yards was against the Jets. He still hit the over, and he only threw like 4 passes before getting injured. Obviously, last week, May fell a little bit short, only 24 yards, but they didn't really need to run it a ton. The Patriots won 19-3. They had 31 running back rush attempts. I don't see that being the case this week against the Patriots, or against the Rams, as the Patriots are 5-point underdogs. And why do I love this spot for Drake May to scramble? Well, here's why. The Rams, second in pressure rate, first in hurry rate, but only 13th in blitz rate. Why is that important? Because their defensive line is getting a ton of pressure, so they're getting in May's face, but they're not blitzing a ton of guys. Because obviously if you're blitzing guys, sometimes you could end up leaving some guys one-on-one, and maybe Drake May takes a shot. They're not blitzing as much as other teams are, but they're getting a ton of pressure. We should see Drake May having to scramble around. You can cut my timer there. I really like the spot, though, for him. This is a Rams defense. Hasn't faced a lot of scrambling QBs, so don't be surprised if Drake May, he could get this done. Honestly, what I also love about Drake May, I know I passed my timer, that bro ain't sliding. He lowers the boom on some people. Hey, that's cool for us. Just don't get injured, which he did earlier this season. So Drake May, love his over in rush yards. My second play, Bijan Robinson, over 24.5 receiving yards at minus 120 on Bet365. I'd play this to about 28.5. Obviously, the Falcons running back, another 1-unit play. Again, play it to 28.5. Let's start my timer now. Obviously, this is going to be some injuries coming into this game. Darnell Mooney, I believe he's going to play, but either way, he could be a little bit limited. But let's talk about Bijan, who's over in 4 straight games with 40, 43, 59, and 28 receiving yards. We love that. Let's make it a 5th straight. This week, tough matchup for the Falcons offense as they face a very talented Broncos defense, and you'll likely see Pat Surtain II shadowing Drake London, arguably their best wide receivers. It's going to be tough to go to Drake. The Broncos only allowing 3.8 yards per carry as well. So not a good running matchup for Bijan. Also, 4th most receptions, 5th most receiving yards to running backs. So they stop them in the ground game, but they're letting them get a little bit loose in the receiving game. We've seen some guys have pretty big numbers against them. The only guy that had a ton of receptions and didn't have a lot of yards was actually Alvin Kamara. And kind of go figures, because they have no other guys out there to really be scared of if you're the Broncos. So they kind of limited him. But Bijan, 4 receptions in 5 games this season. He's over this line in all 5. He's had 3 receptions or more in 9 of 10 games. We know he has the elite breakaway speed. We know how talented he is. Kirk Cousins also a little bit banged up here, so I don't think he really wants to take any hits. He'll be trying to dump off the ball. Last week, we saw Kareem Hunt at 65 yards and even Samaje Perine at 37. So again, I really like this spot for Bijan Robinson's over in receiving yards. Again, just a 1-unit play. I think it's a winner. And Bijan, we need you to go out there, get a big reception for us. Get a 25-yarder. I really think he can break some tackles. I think that's where he's more successful than on the ground. And let's hope the Falcons are trying to incorporate that and get the ball into his hands that way instead of running against a very stout Denver Broncos defense. My third play, going to Mr. Unlimited. Russell Wilson of the Pittsburgh Steelers over 225.5 passing yards, -110 on BetMGM. I personally would play this up to 235.5. I think if Russ goes over, he probably gets closer to 270. And I like this again for a 1-unit play. And we can start my timer right now. It's a big divisional game as the Steelers play host to the Ravens. Obviously, big matchup here. Steelers are slight underdogs, so we could see them trailing and needing to throw the ball, but again, this is a great spot. This season, the Ravens have allowed the second fewest rushing yards and attempts in the league. They really stopped the run. And we know the Steelers want to run the football, but Jalen Warren's questionable. It looks like he's probably going to be out. Najee Harris, he's been a little bit banged up too. But by stopping the run, they give up a ton of pass attempts. Most pass attempts and completions and yards this season. They've really struggled there. And in 10 games this season, only 2 QBs are under 260 yards against them. Bo Nix had 223 and Josh Allen at 180. His team got smoked. Again, 260. We only need 226 from Russell Wilson. In 5 road games, they've given up, you see the numbers on the screen. It's some pretty astronomical numbers. Only 1 QB on the road, well, at home, technically, versus the Ravens, has not hit 300. And we've seen Russ go over this line in 2 of 3 since becoming the starter for the Steelers. So again, I love this matchup for him. It's not my timer. I think this is a good spot. Also, sneaky total in this game. Total's at 48.5. Not even in terms of, this pick. The Steelers and Ravens have gone under a 48.5 total. 7 straight matchups. So you're getting a 48.5 total. It seems like there's going to be some points. I think it's going to be Russell Wilson's using his arm more so than them running the football. Also, I would have gone as over in pass attempts, but we know Russ is going to chuck it deep. Let's just hope there aren't like defensive pass interferences, which account for a lot of yards. My 4th play. As I said, I had a bet play in the Bengals and Chargers game. Here's that one. Chase Brown of the Bengals under 28.5 receiving yards, -110 on Bet365, a 1-unit play. Now, you could take his under in receptions, but I rather the receiving yards here. I take it down to 24.5. Chase Brown is not a wide receiver. He is a running back. And we'll see if they maybe incorporate some other guys in this backfield, as he's basically had every single touch the last 2 weeks. I'm down if they want to. Let's talk about Chase Brown. You can start my timer now. Look at Chase Brown. We backed him last week. It's over in receiving yards against the Ravens, sort of over 52 yards. Hate this matchup for him. Since week 2, the Chargers have only allowed 27 running back receiving yards per game, 7th fewest, while also allowing 5 running back receptions, but only allowing 5.3 yards per catch. So are up near the top of the league in terms of receptions to RBs, but they're tackling those guys when they get the yards. And obviously, Chase Brown's over this line of 2 straight, but who makes his return this week? T. Higgins, obviously a big part of this passing attack for the Bengals. What I also want to point out, the Chargers have the lowest hurry percentage, 2nd lowest pressure rate versus QBs. The Chargers have also allowed the 2nd fewest yards after catch. Obviously, yards after catch, important for a guy like Chase Brown, who's not really going deep down the field, a lot of short throws, and they're not getting pressure to the QBs. So Joe Burrow, I don't think he'll have to dump it off as much. So it'll just be navigating, trying to find his best receiver and target that guy. So I don't think that's going to be Chase Brown. Look for him to throw it to Jamar Chase, T. Higgins down the field. I don't think it needs to be a lot of dump offs to Chase Brown. That's my proof. I like this under. I think this might be my only under of the week. So apologies for not a lot more, but I like this under a lot. I think it's a sneaky one. I don't think a lot of people will be on it, but it'll wrap up our Sunday night card, hopefully with a winner. So I really like that under in receiving yards for Chase Brown. And then my final play of the video before we get into more sleeper talk is going to be a little bit juiced, but this is a winner. Will Levis over 0.5 interceptions, -145 on DraftKings, a 1-unit play. Is this juiced? Yes. Do I think this should be more juiced? Yes. I think this should be closer to -180 or -200. I don't normally take picks at -145. You normally never see me lay this much juice, which hopefully makes you think, hey, if he's laying this juice, he really, really likes this one. And I'll talk about why. Prior to last week, Will Levis actually had an interception in all 5 of his starts. He made his return, and he made it out of the Chargers game without an interception. Now, as I talked about, the Chargers, very low pressure rate, very low blitz percentage, very low hurry rate. So, Will Levis was kind of under pretty calm the whole game. That's not going to be the matchup here against the Vikings. The Vikings lead the NFL in pressure percentage and blitz percentage. So they're going to get in Will Levis's face, and I anticipate him making a mistake, just like a lot of other QBs have. Of the 10 QBs that faced the Vikings this season, only one of them has failed to throw an interception. That was Jared Goff. Look, Jared Goff, outside of last week, typically pretty good at protecting the ball. And I think Will Levis, he'll get under pressure, and he might make a mistake. Might get a ball tipped, might just make a quick read, and Harrison Smith is waiting there for the ball. So I think we get a couple chances here from Will Levis. Could be 3-4 chances. Tony Pollard also a little bit banged up. I just think Will Levis is going to throw one into harm's way, and they're going to take care of business. So I like this one. You also see the Vikings as 4.5, 5.5 point favorites. So hopefully the Titans are down in this game having to throw it. again, Will Levis will make a mistake. So I like that one. I like his over in interceptions. Interceptions, yes, whatever it is. I think he makes a mistake at some point. All it takes is one mistake throw or one wrong route or one ball off someone's hands. The Vikings will take advantage of that. So 1 unit on his over in interceptions. Is it juicy? Yes, but I really think it should be like minus 180 or minus 200. So I will take Will Levis to throw an interception. And finally, I'm putting all these together on Sleeper. A reminder, use my code COS. They'll match your first deposit up to $1,500, and you'll get this Aaron Rodgers, or it's a Joe Burrow free square. I encourage you to check it out. Again, Sleeper, I don't know how much longer they do this offer. Use my code COS or the link down below. Obviously, you see all the plays on the screen. $50 turned into $552. It's all the plays I've already talked about. Drake May, I took him down to 25. I think his line had moved up to like 30.5. Cool there. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. All overs except for Chase Brown's lower right there, down under. So I like that. $50 into 552. That is a winner. And that is how you spoon feed a 5-0 card. Like I said, I really like the slate we have this week. So I think we're going 5-0. And of course, we have some other plays in the NFL. You can go check out the video. I'll post it right here. It includes my anytime touchdown play, my first 2-unit play of the season, another prop in my Lions SGP of the week. Also, down below is going to be our money line spreads totals. Last note, there is a slight chance we have a ladder challenge posted for Sunday. I won't post it until probably tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, whenever you're seeing this. So if there is, I will link it somewhere on the screen. Ladder is back. We're climbing, baby. I'll see you guys in the next one, though. Have a good Sunday. See you later. Peace.